This is Build Series Sydney. My name is Danny Clayton. I'll be your host. And right now I am joined by a woman who's being described as the next big supermodel. Actress, business entrepreneur, and model. Please make her feel welcome, Ellie Gonsalves.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That's
Welcome
a good,
to
warm
Build.
audience welcome, guys.
Yeah. You seem sprightly. How's your day been? Are you well?
Yeah, of course I'm well. It's nice and frosty here in Sydney. I obviously come from Brisbane and didn't dress much for the occasion of it being freezing cold down here. So, yeah, you know.
But you've been doing a lot of flying as well.
Yeah,
so
I have,
who
yeah.
knows what to wear?
I know, exactly. But I did come in almost wearing this exact same thing and saw this picture, so I took off my denim jacket.
Yeah. So, I mean, we need to get straight into it because we've got so much to talk about. You've been a very busy girl over the past few years. I mean, I want to talk to you about movies. I want to talk to you about modelling. I'd like to talk to you about pigs.
I love pigs.
Do you?
I love pigs.
Yeah.
Are you talking about police officers or
No,
actually?
I'm talking about an island of pigs. But
Oh, yeah.
we'll get into it. Now, obviously, huge news is that you starred across from Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a movie which is being heralded as hilarious, heartwarming. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, and that is Fighting with Your Family. Tell me about when you first found out that you had the part in this massive Hollywood film.
So he actually approached me and brought the role to me and asked if I would like to do it. He's like, read it over, no pressure. Let me know if you'd be keen to do this. Read it over. It was like I play a WWE diva. There's like this amazing like dynamic between me, the two other girls, and you know, obviously the girl who plays the main WWE wrestler in the movie. It's super funny and like really uncomfortable, but yeah, it was just like one of the most amazing experiences of my entire life. And I remember being in my LA apartment at the time and literally jumping on the sofa because we read for it in Australia. I read with my partner, Roscoe, and, you know, did the audition, sent it in. And they're like, yep, you've got it. You're going to film here in LA and then you're going to go over to London and film the rest of it over a couple of months. But yeah, it was just like one of those really incredible experiences where, you know, Dwayne has been like such an amazing mentor, and to be brought a role like this as like my first movie was just kind of one of those amazing moments in your life that you remember forever. So yeah, it was just really cool. Like, it was really, really cool.
Yeah. Now, the role, Madison, you play a girl called Madison. She's your typical Cali girl. Can I say that? Did you find that living in California and hanging around a lot of California girls, did you find it quite easy to slip into the role?
So easy. It's like, you know, you just play the typical Cali girl. And it was so funny because, you know, I had dark brown long hair at the time when we filmed this, and you know, we're all tan, we've got these white teeth, and then you know, Florence comes in and she plays Soraya Knight, Paige, and she's like this goth with like black hair, she's got piercings, she's like, you know, really into like this wrestling thing, and we're all kind of, you know, these girls who have been models or cheerleaders, dancers, whatever, and we've come in and we're like, yeah, we want to be, you know, WWE superstars. So she's all about that life, and we're kind of still learning, and that dynamic there is just like really awkward, and she feels like she doesn't fit in. But yeah, it was a really fun role to play, and like the girls, we all got along so well. Like, we all traveled together and did all of our scenes together, and we had, you know, Vince Vaughn as like our coach in the movie as well, and Lena Headey, and such a great, amazing cast, and Dwayne obviously making his cameo as himself. But yeah, it was just like, it was so fun. Like, we learnt how to be WWE wrestlers, which was like the coolest thing ever, because how many times do you get to like really learn how to do, you know, a headlock and throw someone down in the ring? It's like, nobody wants to mess with me in the street.
Yeah. Look, I mean, this might be, you seem like a really nice girl. So
Thank you. Quite... Looks can be deceiving.
That's it. But wrestling is pretty hardcore. So do you know some wrestling moves now? Like, if you and I were to get into a fight right now, could you pile drive me and, you know, smash me out? Do you still retain that wrestling information in that head?
Because I've always been really athletic, and I've always loved doing new things. And I said, you know, I want to be able to do my own stunts in this movie. I did everything but one, so that was a really fun. We just got trained by the most amazing stunt teams in in the world. So to do that and do it safely and look like a total badass on camera, we were just like, hell yeah, this is like freaking awesome.
How much training did you have to do? Was
Quite
it
a bit.
Like every day, just pumping iron and learning how to break people's necks?
It wasn't so much like weight training. I've always been really passionate about fitness, so I came in fit already, but it was more learning how to do things the right way so we didn't break each other's necks, you know, doing these crazy things. But yeah, we flew into London and we started with the stunt team previously in LA, but a lot of our stuff in London. So a couple of days for, I can't remember if it was like 2 weeks of training. But yeah, it was pretty extensive because the stuff that we did, it's like you have to make sure that it's like completely 100% safe, while also looking really real and amazing on camera. So yeah, it was a lot of training.
Yeah. And was The Rock there for these wrestling bits? Because let's face it, he is an icon in the wrestling world.
Yeah.
He if there was anyone to teach you how to body slam someone, it's him.
Yeah.
So did he give you girls advice, tips? You know?
Yeah, he definitely did. He came in when we were training in LA. We were in the ring. I'd previously known that he was coming in. He let me know. He's like, hey, I'm coming in, sitting in on like your training today. And I was like, oh my God. So, it was awesome because he watched how we were all in the ring, how we were going, gave us the pointers that we needed to make it really, like, we just wanted it to be a real authentic performance. That was like the main thing behind this, because WWE fans are going to watch this movie and they're going to know if it's bogus or, you know, if it's the real deal. So we just wanted to make it look super real and authentic. But yeah, it was just really cool to have him there, like, giving us pointers, because he is like the WWE champion. Like, if people think of WWE, they think of The Rock. So.
Oh, of course. That's so wild. Having The Rock watch you wrestle, it's like asking Michelangelo to watch you paint.
I know.
Strange,
it was so strange, but really cool, because he was just so helpful. And he is really the guy that you see on the talk shows and on his Instagram. And I think that's why people love him so much, because he's genuine and really authentic and just really cares about what he's doing and other people. So I think, it's pretty amazing to have him there and helping us through such a fun role. So,
So in wrestling, is there a move that you think you're quite good at?
Headlock.
You're a good headlock.
Yeah. But okay, so my partner Ross, he was previously a cage fighter, champion cage fighter.
Yeah.
So I've learnt things from him over the years, and he's like, if you ever need to protect yourself, it was like kind of a miscongeniality moment, you know, when she's like on stage doing all that stuff. I've learned a couple of those things over the years, but yeah, I've been in the ring with him a few times, and
with your partner.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like, not rough
relationship goals.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's definitely a side that people probably haven't seen, but yeah, he used to be a professional cage fighter. So
wow, because I mean, your relationship isn't something that you could find too much on the internet. So it's so your partner is a cage wrestler. How does he feel about you working with someone like The Rock? I mean, surely this must be a hero of his.
No, it was amazing, because we were always WWE fans, and he was a cage fighter, like champion cage fighter. It was amazing. Not while we've been together, just before we got together, like over 10 years ago, which is, you know, that's a long time. But yeah, he did that previous to our relationship, and then he got into the business side of things, you know, really made an amazing name for himself in the business world, and super proud of him. Like, I'm like one of those people who are like, yeah, I'll be your cheerleader. But yeah, and we've also worked together in my career as well. He's always been a big hand in a lot of my success. So I've been like really, really grateful that he's been by my side, and like always so supportive and amazing with everything that I've ever done. Like, he's not one of those like jealous boyfriends who is like, no, I don't want you to be with that person, or going here or doing this or doing that or posting those pictures, you know. He's always been like really amazing to go to for advice, and just such a smart, intelligent, incredible person. So
I hope he's watching this.
Yeah, he
probably
will
a single tear rolling down his face, I'm sure. So, I mean, the real question is he an Instagram boyfriend? And by that, I mean, does he take those photos when you're like, look, I need you to make me look good in this dress. I need to post something up. Can you take a few photos for me?
I would never call him an Instagram boyfriend, because he definitely deserves a lot more credit than that. But But he, at times, yes, does like take my pictures. And it's so funny because we were talking about this earlier. He's one of those guys that gets on like down, getting all the angles, and girls walk past and they're like, oh my God, you are so lucky to have such an amazing boyfriend taking all of your photos like this. And I'm like, this is 10 years in the making, guys. Like, this wasn't an overnight thing. Like, it's kind of like getting blood out of a stone sometimes. And I'm like, can you take my picture? Oh no, that just take it from here. And he's just like, Jesus Christ, like, how long do we have to do this for? But also understands, it's part of my job. So very respectful of that. And he's always been like really amazing, very patient, very, very patient. So I'm very lucky.
And of course, he's teaching you how to cage fight as well, which is important to your career.
Yeah, and kick the shit out of anybody who ever crosses me. No, I'm joking.
Boom. Yeah. Oh, mic drop. Holy hell. So when you're in the midst of this battle, wrestling movie, did he get a chance to come on set? Did he get a chance to watch you do your thing?
Yeah, he did. In London, no, because he was sort of back and forth from Australia and LA and stuff. But yeah, he definitely got like a little behind the scenes of everything that was going on, which was amazing because I love him to be a part of my journey. We've been together for 10 years and we really built this thing together, So it's just amazing that he gets to share in that with me and travel all over the place with me and while also doing his own thing. So yeah, it's been a pretty wild ride for both of us, really. Yeah. Kind of been like all over the place.
Wow, it's quite spectacular.
Yeah.
Now, we were saying that, he was on set, got to see you do your thing. The Rock was there, but someone else that was also there, Cersei Lannister.
Yes.
And you're nearly finished Game of Thrones, so we won't talk about what happens because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, we're not going there. I haven't watched the last season yet, so I'm waiting for a binge weekend where I can just like switch off, shut all my curtains and just like make it my little cave.
Oh, you're in for a ride.
Yeah. I've heard that.
But, Lena, otherwise Cersei Lannister, she's also in this film.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to drink wine with her and stare out a window and a sullen expression?
I'm so sad because she was actually one of the only people I didn't meet.
Oh.
Because we all did like separate scenes and they were obviously in London and all the stuff that we were doing was around the wrestling aspect and they were kind of like doing all of that different stuff. So unfortunately I didn't get to meet her, which I was like super bummed about too because she is like my idol in Game of Thrones. I freaking love that woman. So but even just to have her attached to this movie and we have Vince Vaughn, Dwayne, Lena Headey, Nick Frost, we've got like Florence Pugh, like just such an amazing cast of people and super talented. So it was just like so cool to have that caliber of actors in this movie.
Apparently Vince is really great to drink with. Can you concur?
Yes, yeah, he is. We had a wrap dinner with Stephen Merchant and a bunch of all of the other actors as well. And Stephen Merchant is like an idol of mine too, ever since, he was doing The Office with Ricky Gervais and started doing his own thing too, which he's just like absolutely incredible and such a great actor too. Like he makes cameos in all of his stuff. So, he was in Fighting With My Family as the girl who got pregnant. She's like, he's her dad. So he like comes in with the moustache and they're at that like really awkward dinner moment where they're like conservative but yeah, he's just so funny and like such a cool guy, like just really fun to work with. So you got your serious moments when you're filming and stuff, but they're just like it's such a great funny cast.
You're making me feel really envious. It's like such a fun.
No, it was like, how does this work? It was just such a magical opportunity. But yeah, Vince Vaughn is fun to drink with. Yep, definitely.
Now, I did try to do my best to be an investigatory journalist.
Yes.
And so I contacted a few sources.
Oh, you did?
And I spoke to your housemate, Hannah. And Hannah, who's also a model over there doing big things in LA.
Yeah.
And she said nothing but nice things, which is so disappointing. She said that you were a really, really, really hard worker. And she said that as soon as you were over in LA, you started making opportunities for yourself.
Yeah.
And that you started hustling. And so from the outside looking in, it looks like all these great things have just happened. But she said that everything was you. Which I thought was quite a compliment. And she said that you were hitting up Dwayne and tweeting him and making sure that, she that you were on the radar, and then
Yeah.
that's how this all happened.
I mean, yeah, I've always been making opportunities happen for myself. And, Ross has always been kind of like the behind the scenes guy as well. He's not really like in front of the camera, but the guy behind. But yeah, like creating opportunities for myself has always been the number one thing. I got turned down by every single modeling agency here in Australia when I first wanted to start. And I was quite young. So I just thought, screw it, like I'll just go and do it by myself. So I created this online presence when there wasn't like Instagram or anything. We had Facebook, Twitter, just that kind of thing. So
MySpace?
Yeah, MySpace. Yeah. I think I was like doing quite well on MySpace, but then moved to Facebook pages because it was like more of a business thing. So I did really create this online presence that it wasn't really a thing back then. And I was one of the first people to jump on board doing that. And it served me extremely well because we had this amazing audience of people who I could just go to a client that I wanted to work with and say, hey, like I've got this audience. I would love to come and work with your brand. And I just built great relationships with people I wanted to work with. And at the end of the day, that served me so well. And I just had to do things a bit differently because I didn't have a manager or, an agent or anything like that. Nobody who really believed in me other than Ross. So we really just did it together and just like went out there, made things happen for myself. And it just served me so well because we built this online presence that you don't really know where it's going at that point because we didn't have Instagram then. And when Instagram came out, everyone's like, what is this? Like, how does this work? And it became a business in itself. But I guess I was one of the first people to really take advantage of that and make something really special happen for myself. When I didn't have the original means to get to success. Yeah. And
it seemed like things really snowballed on your 26th birthday when a very particular ad skyrocketed you across America, which is, of course, the Super Bowl ad for Yellow Champagne.
Yellowtail.
Yellowtail champagne.
Yellowtail wines,
Where you were patting a kangaroo. Such a ridiculous ad, but...
It was so crazy. So they actually were looking for an Australian, like a young Australian girl who was like, the typical kind of, they wanted like a supermodel beach babe kind of look. So they had found me on social media, which, people say, they just call someone an influencer, but I feel like I've worked so hard. It's like more than that because I've got my hands in so many things and they kind of like put social media down sometimes, but I've honestly like booked so many huge jobs just from social media and having that presence and credibility behind me that we worked so hard for over the years. And they found me on Instagram and I literally got this email through one afternoon and it's like, we love you. We want to book you for a Super Bowl commercial. And I read it and I laughed and I was like, yeah, whatever. Like didn't seem like a legit thing. I was like, yeah, it sounds like a bunch of BS. So I was like, Ross, look at this. And he was like, babe, do you know it's a Super Bowl commercial? And we ended up investigating it and it was a legit thing. They were like, we're filming in Barcelona. This is going to air to like 150 million plus people at like, Super Bowl halftime. It's just crazy. Like it just happened so quickly.
What was that response like immediately afterwards? So
it was huge.
I mean, because they, in this particular advertisement, they name drop you.
Yeah, which I was like, we were reading the script the night before, and I was like, they actually say my name in this ad. Like, that's just so huge. Like, nobody ever gets something as amazing as that on a Super Bowl commercial. Like, that's just insane. And I was like, kind of just like sitting there in our hotel in Barcelona, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, this is going to be really big. And Ross is like, this is huge. Like he was there with me and we were just like really celebrating this and taking it all in because it's like, how the hell did we get here after being turned down by so many people over the years and being told no and you're to this and you're to that. And it's like, he's like, you're about to film a Super Bowl commercial.
Is that when you decided, all right, that's it, we're going to LA?
No, I was already in LA.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, we were living in LA. And don't get me wrong, like it was really hard. I moved there and I had to start again, build it all back up because nobody really cared what I'd previously done in Australia when I was in America. So it wasn't all sunshine, rainbows, easy, amazing opportunities. We had to really like work so freaking hard for these opportunities. Yeah. And did get turned down over there so many times by a lot of people, but being persistent and just like grinding and, you know, doing all of those things that you need to do.
And now, I mean, look at you. You're working with some of the biggest names in the beauty and fashion industry. I mean, I've just been reading about your work with the Kardashians.
Yes.
So the Good American campaign. I mean, tell me about this. Like, what's it all about for someone who is a little bit in the dark about Good American? How would you explain that campaign to me?
So Good American, I mean, it all really came about. I was training with the same personal trainer Khloé and all of the Kardashians train with in LA. And that is how I actually met her.
Wow.
And she's amazing. Like, I think that she is like such a hardworking, incredibly nice, down-to-earth person who's like so funny. You know when you meet someone who's just so freaking funny and you just like belly laugh at them? She's that girl. And she's just so gorgeous and like has time for everyone. But yeah, that's how we initially like met. And when they started I'm wearing Good American at the moment. They started this denim label.
There. Thank you, Khloé.
Thank you, Khloé. They created this amazing label called Good American. Her and Emma agreed. And yeah, they started just producing jeans for women of all sizes. So, you know, from a 00 to like...
I'm not a 00. Why are you pointing at me?
I mean, like, I'm going from a 00 to, you know... Like, they really just were very inclusive of all of their sizes, which is a really big thing for a company and label to do, because not a lot of people do it.
I mean, and I'm trying to say this in the least salacious way possible. I'm sure that some of the Kardashians might find it difficult to find jeans that fit them.
Oh, their bodies are...
I'm trying to say this very delicately.
And Khloé like works so hard for like she has the most amazing figure. I've seen her in the gym. It's insane. But I mean, a lot of people just don't have like a specific, so like they have middle sizes now for a lot of girls. Like they have a size 16 or a 15 or a 16. Like it's like a special size that nobody does. So they really cater to everybody, which is amazing. They're very inclusive. And she asked me to come and shoot the campaign for Good American, which was just like unreal because it's such a huge brand. And, you know, anything that is like Khloé is attached to or Kim is attached to, Kylie, all of the girls is always such a huge success.
Yeah. Who else is a part of the Good Squad?
It's quite big now. Like the Good Squad is like full of so many amazing women. It's like, you know, I know a lot of the Kardashians have been massive supporters of Good American, and yeah, they've just got so many girls. And it doesn't range just from models either. They have musicians, like so many incredible girls from all walks of life. So just very, very inclusive. But yeah, she had asked me to come and shoot the campaign, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like an array of different people and an array of different shapes and sizes, which is something that it seems like you're quite passionate about body positivity. I mean, if you go on a regular model's Instagram page, you might find just glamorous photos, you know, beauty and fitness, but it seems like you've got a little bit more heart in a lot of the things that you post, talking about confidence, mental health, and body positivity.
Yeah.
How long have you been positive, or how long have you been interested in creating this positive attitude towards body?
You know, I think growing up as a young girl, like we kind of go through this whirlwind of not ever feeling or feeling like we look good. I think every girl's have like these massive insecurities. I don't think social media particularly helps that these days either, because you're just constantly thrown into like this world of beautiful, perfect photos, and nobody ever really talks about the shitty day that they've had. It's just, you kind of see this amazing life, and you see these couples, you know, posting these gorgeous pictures together, you know, in the Bahamas or whatever. And it's like a lot of girls are like, why isn't my life like that? So, you know, I think that growing up and going through that, like just as a young girl, it's like you need someone who is encouraging and shares the hard times in their lives, because life isn't perfect. Like, life hasn't been perfect for me. I've had so many challenges over the years, loss. I've gone through a whirlwind in my 20s. And even at school, like really like bullied at school, and it was just like, it was really shitty. So, I think sharing a lot of challenges in your life, especially on social media, opens up this like door to girls. It's like, wow, like people's lives aren't actually perfect, even though some people, make their lives look perfect. It's anything but. And you see like in this world, you see behind the scenes of girls who have like this picture perfect life. And then you see the behind the scenes of that, and it's anything but. So I think it's always important to encourage young girls to like just love themselves enough to take care of themselves. And really like I've been into fitness ever since I was like kind of like 18. I think that's when I really started to take how I looked and felt seriously. Because I wanted a career in this, entertainment industry. And I thought, if I looked a certain way, then, I would be successful. But it definitely just comes from your mind. It's not really about being stick skinny, which it was the look back then, especially when I was 18. It was like all about being a stick. And I have these big boobs. I have a butt, like,
I didn't notice.
Nothing about it is going to change. So, but that wasn't the look back then. So it was really challenging. And when I just decided, like, screw this, like, I'm just going to accept myself and love myself regardless of what this world is. And if it doesn't change, then it doesn't change. Whatever. It's obviously not for me then. But
I mean, it definitely goes with things that we said earlier about kind of making those opportunities happen for yourself, working hard, training hard.
Yeah.
And, you mentioned the Bahamas. You went to the Bahamas, damn it. And that was because of hard work.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It is something I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Because there is an island covered in pigs.
Yep.
And they swim, and you can swim with the pigs.
They also bite you, so.
Do they? And you went to this island, and I must know everything about this island, because I know that you're a wildlife warrior.
Yeah.
And I want to know what that means. How do you become a wildlife warrior? And also, tell me more about the pigs.
Yeah. Okay, so we actually went to the Bahamas with Revolve. It was like a big work trip. It was so amazing. And they're like, okay, we're taking a seaplane out to Pig Island tomorrow morning, and we're going to go play with the pigs. And then we went swimming with reef sharks, and it was just literally the most amazing experience ever. These things bite though. Like, people see all these beautiful photos of these pigs, and they're all like, oh my God, I totes want to go to Pig Island. And it's like one of the Victoria's Secret girls on this trip got bitten on the butt, and like, she literally thought it was going to go septic because it was like so deep. Yeah, it was. Everyone was just like, okay, maybe we should just like keep our distance, but also get cute pics. There's a photo of me actually like running away from one of the pigs who were like running up to me, and I'm like, hell no, you're not biting my butt. You're not biting my bacon.
We're too hard on this thing.
But yeah, it was just like the most unreal experience. And I think like anyone who's going to the Bahamas who gets the chance to go to Pig Island, just go.
Yeah. Just
be wary of, the pigs, because they do bite. But yeah, it was just such an incredible experience. And
that
coming
is
back
sage
to
advice.
Yeah.
And I appreciate
because people think
tip.
they're so friendly. People see photos of like people holding the babies, and you kind of get this like, oh, they're all friendly and they're pigs, but they're wild. So. Yeah. But coming back to being a wildlife warrior, I met the Irwins, so Bindi, Terry, Robert, the whole team at Australia Zoo about 8 years ago, through a friend of mine, and she was like, have you ever been to the zoo? Like, I lived in Brisbane at the time, and I was like, embarrassingly enough, no, I've never been up to the zoo. She's like, you have to come, like, you crazy person, like, you need to come up to the zoo. So she organized this amazing day at the zoo for us. We, had animal encounters. We were with the elephants and the giraffes and like all these amazing animals. And then we went to the wildlife hospital, and that was really where I was like, hey, like, they had no government support. The hospital was run off profits from the zoo and donations from the public. So I said to them, I was like, what can I do? Like, I would absolutely love to support what you do here. It's amazing. The family is incredible. Like, I love them to death. Bindi and Robert are like a little brother and sister to me, and I just have so much love for them. So we had a meeting with Terry, and she was like, we would love to make you a Wildlife Warriors ambassador.
And what an honor. I mean, that is so spectacular.
100%. I was like, absolutely. I would love nothing more. And to support them and raise awareness about what they do is just so incredible. And they hold a gala every year here in Australia and in LA, which I have been lucky to go to most of those and even host. So, but it's just like such a touching story because, you know, losing such an amazing man like Steve was, and, you know, you've got these 2 young kids and Terry, like they've just worked so hard.
Yeah,
like
the wild thing about them
hard.
is that they almost seem like caricatures when you see them talk about animals and you see them do press. But when you're with them, they are genuinely that enthusiastic about animals.
They
and
really
they make
are.
you believe.
And just about life. Like, you know, they're just like the most uplifting people to be around. And to be with them and doing these things with them is just so incredible. Like the animals you get to meet and the things you get to do is just like so priceless.
Snakes, tarantulas, birds.
Yeah, I've had like big snakes like wrapped around me. I've held tarantulas. Like I've done so many incredible things over the years with them, and to be able to raise awareness about what they do and how much they really, you know, do for wildlife and conservation is just like absolutely amazing. But yeah, I just have so much love for them, and they're doing so well. Like Bindi was Dancing on the Stars winner. And they've got their Crikey It's the Owens on Animal Planet, like just so proud of like how well they're doing from, you know, bouncing back from such a huge loss that, you know, was Steve. You know, he was, you know, Crikey, like just such an amazing man. And they've become like this family that, you know, has just really worked together and made an amazing life for themselves after such a huge loss. And like, I can relate to that. I lost my dad. So, you know, what they've done is just like absolutely incredible. Bindi, Terry and Robert, they're all so hardworking. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite animal that you've been given a chance to?
I actually love the elephants, but they're getting some new elephants in. So yeah, because the others were so old, they'd passed away, but they've got some new elephants coming in, and it's just like really amazing. We've played with the tigers, cheetahs, like it's the most magical place you could ever go to. And to like have animal encounters like that, it really takes you back to like how amazing our wildlife actually is and how much you want to protect it. Whereas a lot of people out there kind of, especially with social media, I feel like to be able to be aligned with such an amazing like charity and conservation program is so important. You know, people, I feel like a lot about themselves these days, and just, you know, I think it's really important to have something to share with people that isn't just about you. It's like something that you really believe in and you're passionate about. So
using your platform also to
100%.
help the world.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of, we have got some questions in from people who are watching, and one of them was about someone who wants to build their own digital empire. What would be your best advice on building your internet brand?
I think consistency and really knowing who you are and what you want to portray on social media is huge. I think also not selling out. You know, you see a lot of people sell out these days, but I think, you know, just work with people you really believe in, companies that you really believe in and enjoy working with. Just be real, be authentic, and, you know, start engaging with people who, you know, engage with you, I think is one of the most important things. Like I talk to a lot of people on social media. It's like really like a family base because people just follow everything that you do and they're so invested in your life. And it's like, this is, you know, you become friends with people and you meet people through social media. So I think engaging is like one of the biggest points to building an amazing audience on social media. And just not talking down to people, I think, is the most important thing as well. And yeah, just being you and being authentic and real and not just sharing the highlight reel. I think, you know, when you're sharing things that, you know, you've gone through and how you've gotten through those things is like a really amazing thing to put out there as well. So
how do you protect yourself on the internet? How do you make sure that you're, I mean, let's face it, there are a lot of creeps. How do you keep yourself safe from creeps besides having a cage fighter as a boyfriend?
Yeah, amazing. I think like protecting myself, I don't know. I don't really attract too many creeps. I
God,
think
I do.
everybody.
Someone asked to see my feet like yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Do you have
What
a
is-
feet guy?
Yeah,
What's your feet?
a lot
I
of
don't-
people. There's a
Do you
feet
guys have
thing.
people that want to see your feet, or is it? all
Yeah,
the
no,
time?
it's
Yeah.
so bizarre. Like there is a website that has just photos of my feet. Like somebody's like gone into photos where I've been barefoot and they zoom up and screen grab it and put it on the website. It's really bizarre. Like, I mean, I don't find that. Is that weird that I don't find that creepy? Just more funny.
I find it funny, but mostly creepy.
Yeah. See, like I've got a really dry sense of humor, so it takes a lot to creep me out. Funny story. I actually, you get sent quite a bit of dick pics over the years, and I was like, this is just so crazy. So a guy sent me one night. I was watching Netflix on a Friday night, going through my DM requests, and we do read those, by the way. We read DM requests. Everybody does. And this guy sends me this picture, and he goes, "What's your favorite thing to do with balls?"
With like basketballs?
No, his balls, because they
Okay.
were in the picture, like he was talking about those balls.
Yep.
And I sat there and I went into his Instagram profile and saw that he had a Facebook URL as his URL on his Instagram. And I was like, okay, click. Says married to so-and-so
Oh
with a
my
tag.
God.
So I screen grabbed that,
Oh my gosh.
sent it to her on Facebook, replied back to him, my favorite thing to do with balls is to send them to your wife, buddy. Not a great idea having your Facebook profile in your URL link. And he was like, wait, I'll do anything. Don't send it to her. And I was like, it's done.
Oh my.
So I'm pretty
God.
sure I literally, his life just went like
That is-
in,
That's a power move.
well, it's happened a few times, and I've sent the photos to family members as well, like sisters
Jesus
and moms and all of that kind of stuff. So it's definitely come down to very little amount of dick pics over the years now.
Yeah.
Because I also put it on my story. I censor them, of course,
Wow.
because we don't want that taken down. We need people to learn a lesson here.
It's funny because I'm like, do I feel sorry for these guys? I'm
No,
like,
no,
no, not really.
If that was in the middle of the street, they would be put in jail. Like
Yeah.
that's public. Like what's it called? Public exposure. Like
Yeah.
that's illegal. Like, and also so disrespectful. Like it wasn't even a good dick pic either.
I have no, I have no idea how we got here.
I'm so sorry.
And if someone's watching this online and they skip to this part of the interview,
Yeah,
they're going to
awkward.
think that I brought up dick
So
pics.
awkward. No, I did. I brought it up. But yeah, I mean, it happens a lot less now because people watch the stories and they're like, oh, I better not send them to her. She might send them to my mum or my sister or my wife.
Okay, there's a lesson to be learnt here, boys.
Definitely, yeah.
Show some respect. Now,
Yeah.
back to something a little bit more professional. When you're eyeing your future, what is that next role that you'd like? I mean, maybe an actor in an acting role, or maybe a campaign. What's that next big thing for Ellie?
I think it's really just expanding on the business side, and I would love, like, in terms of acting, that action role. I love like Black Widow. I would love that real action role where I can get into a character that's like amazing. I could do stunts, the Lara Croft that Angelina Jolie played. That was just like ideal. That was amazing.
Is she like the dream actress you'd like to work across? I mean, who else
She's like
would
my dream girl. What are you talking about? Not dream actress, dream girl.
Yeah.
That would just be like amazing and so fun, but really focusing on making more opportunities happen for myself. Like I said earlier, really expanding business opportunities and doing that kind of thing. So just like really like love the entertainment side of things, but also love making money and like doing amazing things and working with incredible people.
You're a businesswoman.
Yeah,
babe.
being a businesswoman, babes. Being like that behind the scenes as well. I think, having and being involved in things that people don't necessarily know about either, which is really cool. But yeah, building that that empire and that brand and being all about that business life.
Yeah. And so very soon you're going to be jumping on a plane, heading back to LA.
Yes.
And what will you be doing when you land? Are you going to relax? I mean, are you going to... it's
never
illegal
relax.
over there. You're going to have some edibles.
No.
You're going to make yourself a salad. I mean... Have you had a bad experience?
No. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
No, I'd never. No.
So what's the first thing you're going to do when you get home?
Well, I mean, I live in Brisbane now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I say live in Brisbane, not really ever home, because we're always traveling. But, you know, we kind of don't really relax. This is our life. We signed up for this. We signed up for like, you know, long haul flights and, you know, the long distance stuff and the travel and just everything like that. So we're in that like grind mode. You know, we don't have kids yet. So it's kind of like we're in that, you know, real business mode and we don't really like to relax. We kind of like, you know.
You like to keep moving. I mean, such is the life
like I'm
of
sitting here like this, like.
Yeah, way too much coffee. I mean, such is the life of Australia's next supermodel. I mean, that's it. This is what you signed up for.
Yeah.
But it seems like one hell of a ride, and I am ecstatic at all of your success. And it's been an absolute pleasure having you here on Build. A round of applause for Ellie Gonsalves.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much. This has been Build Series Sydney.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, go. Give it a little squeak.